And for those who are actors, who are good actors out there who are listening to me, they agree with me. Like they know what I'm talking about because they want so bad for like a good director to give them the tools they need to give their best performance. And if they really understand their craft, then they agree with me. I know that's you agree with me, you guys.
Friends.
But you do.
We do.
It's like
They
one of those
know.
things. If you know, you know. Those who follow us know that I'm a filmmaker who is constantly mindful of acting performances, whether I want to be or not. And the Cissnei voice actor is actually one of my favorites out of the mainline female characters in this game. I think she does a pretty good job based on the fact that she feels really natural throughout. Like she's authentically in the scenes.
Didn't mean to startle you before.
Speaking like a real person would speak, as opposed to thinking about how she should fluctuate her voice to make it sound in a certain way, which is nails on a chalkboard for me. And honestly, the quickest way to an authentic voice acting. But the only time that the actress felt forced to me was when she was supposed to sound awkward or flustered with surprise.
Yeah, of course. Why?
That just tells me that this actress is either not used to feeling that way in real life, or it's just hard to make herself feel that way in a studio, because I was pretty happy with like the rest of her performance. She's really, really good, consistent, natural, authentic throughout, except when she's awkward.
What is important is the soup.
But she's only awkward like 1 or 2 times throughout the whole game. So it just kind of stands out to me. I'm like, oh.
Maybe she's awkward.
Well, the character is one that's a leader, right? So they're supposed to be projecting confidence and...
But acting isn't about projecting. Acting is about being.
Well, no. I'm saying the character itself. Like, because they're a leader, they're supposed to be projecting confidence. So maybe her interpretation of the awkwardness was like a break of the character, because usually a character like that won't have that kind of reaction.
But it doesn't feel like she's authentically being awkward. It feels like she's awkwardly trying to be awkward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a small thing. If you're not like a voice acting coach or something, like kind of like I am as a director, like you're probably not going to notice these things. This is just my expert take, if you will, on the Cissnei voice actor. But her name is Kayli Mills, and it's spelled, I think it's Kayli, Kayli. She's rocking some pretty colorful hairstyles on her IMDb page. Not that I want to talk, I have some of that myself. But similar to a lot of other supporting character actors in this game, her resume is pretty much filled with video games, animated TV series that originated in Japan and then were dubbed in English, which I gotta say, like, it takes an additional set of skills to be able to do that than to just record in English first and to make it sound authentic. Like anybody can read lines and try to do them within a time frame. I mean, not anybody, but like that's a challenge on its own. But to do that authentically, that's got to be way harder. And not just because they have to speak sentences and like phrases within a certain amount of time in order to match the footage previously recorded for someone else or by someone else. Doing that is a challenge, but it's a particular challenge to remain authentic while doing that. Because remember, good actors are authentically putting themselves emotionally into a scene and then speaking naturally from the heart, if that makes sense. Like if you can, does that make sense? Can you differentiate between that, the way I describe it?
It's Heath Ledger's Joker.
You say that in every episode.
To me, that and Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday are like the pinnacle.
You say that too.
Yeah.
Ernest.
There it is.
I'm married to you, so I get it. Like, I didn't get it before, and maybe there's people out there that are like, Tifa's great. There's nothing wrong with her. And I didn't have like a huge problem with her. And then I listened to the kind of your critiques, and I'm like, oh yeah, it does kind of seem like she's breathy, kind of sing-songy, like she's trying to have a certain timbre rather than just talking and being in the moment. Like, to me, it doesn't bother me as much, but knowing you, being someone that's been surrounded in education, inundated in that in your work, and just your expertise would make it harder. We have this joke about Jolie. When I met Jolie and I was married to her, I used to like movies, but now I don't like movies anymore because we only critique them, we don't watch them. Which is not, I mean, we do, we enjoy them, but
I am your annoying friend that you hate to go to movies with. I'm sorry. That's
no,
just,
but it is.
If you're a professional basketball player, you're going to see all the things every player does wrong on the court.
Right.
It's the same thing with any career. I just happen to be a filmmaker. I notice acting performances really, really closely.
Right, but then when a movie like really hits, you're like, that was good, Spencer. And I'm like, yeah, that movie does feel like it was set apart from these other ones that you know, that I just was having fun eating popcorn and watching, you know? So now I just have a higher palate, a better I've ascended to a much higher degree of...
He's a sommelier of movies.
I'm now a video game voice acting elitist.
A connoisseur of the craft.
She's really not that. I mean, you're not like this elitist, but you can call balls and strikes when you see him at voice acting. Which
in voice acting, I feel like I can.
Right, but I think a lot of people don't realize it, and no matter how many times we talk about it, they'll just be like, "You're wrong."
They're just gonna be like, "You're wrong."
Tifa's
I like
great.
the voice. She's
Like,
good.
they're awesome.
You don't know. You don't know because you don't know.
They don't know, and that's okay.
There's an objectivity and an objective skill set to it
Right.
that if you are trained in it, you notice it right away. And it's not to say that Tifa's voice actor doesn't sound like Tifa. She does. They cast somebody who sounds like I think Tifa would sound. It's just that when she's acting, it feels to me like she's thinking about how she should be moving her voice up and down and how she should be using vocal inflection rather than putting herself emotionally in a scene and letting all of that vocal inflection come out naturally. And there's a big difference. And I know that difference and I can see that difference. And most people think that they know that difference, but they can't see it because they just don't know. And that's probably 85% of our audience. So 85% of you probably think I'm crazy and stupid and annoying, and that's fine because this is an opinion show.
And you can totally think that.
Right.
And if you like the way Tifa sounds, has no problem. I keep bringing up Tifa because that's the sticking point because she's the main character.
Well, she sounds good. She just doesn't perform well.
Or any of the other characters. If you like them, that's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
But we're just going to give you our opinions and...
Because it's an opinion show.
I haven't heard anybody complain about Barret yet, or I haven't seen it at least.
No.
So
Barrett's like probably the best.
Barrett's amazing.
Or one of the best. Him and Cloud are like amazing.
He and Cloud are so good.
And I know you don't love Cloud necessarily, Ernest, but it's like Cloud works because that's what he's supposed to be. He's this loner, you know, it's like, Cloud is just one note. It's like, because that's what he is right now.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And he's breaking out. He has these moments when he actually is, you know, that moment in chapter 8 when he's just like, hey, we're here for you, man.
Well, we're here for you.
Whereas Barret just plays a range, right? From like...
He does. He plays a range, but he's also just so authentically in it. Even in like the Missing Mr. Birdie side quest where he has to say stupid crap, he's there. Like he's the actor, John Eric Bentley is just so good. But I do want to say, okay, since we're on the tangent, I'm going to go into this really quick. So as a director of actors, there's a thing called result directions that are so detrimental to an actor's performance. And I think sometimes actors are forced to deal with this when they're recording for video games. Like if you're working with a director who's not super experienced. So let me tell you a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah. So a result direction is when a director, or someone who thinks they're a director, more like, gives an actor a result to accomplish while they're recording something. So like, for instance, if the director tells the actor to cry during a scene, that's considered a result direction because it's just communicating the result that the director is looking to capture on film or an audio recording, right? But it's not good to direct that way because it risks the actor just forcing fake tears in order to appear to cry, which doesn't feel authentic because it isn't authentic.
Right.
If you're thinking about, I have to cry, you're going to make yourself cry, but you're going to be thinking about having to cry, not thinking about the sad things that are happening to your character that make you cry naturally.
And when we were kids, I remember thinking that's what acting was, right?
Yeah.
Oh, can you make yourself
can
cry?
you make yourself cry?
And it would be like, yeah.
And you like pinch yourself.
Yeah,
and you're like, I'm a good actor.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I could do this.
Right. But instead, the right way to get an actor to look authentically sad and to cry during a scene, instead of saying, I need you to cry, like you shouldn't even tell them that. Like honestly, they shouldn't even know that you want tears in this scene. You should talk to them beforehand, and you've got to get them to a real sad emotional place before you record, and then see the tears flow naturally while recording without you even having to tell them that you wanted to see tears at all. So it's quite common, at least on my film sets, to give the actor isolated time alone after I talk to them so they can get to an emotional place. If this is before they have to do like an emotional scene that requires them to cry or something, so that they can get themselves in that emotional mindset. Then we hush the crew completely, and we even will dismiss members of the crew who aren't mandatory to that scene to not be distracting. So we get rid of as many people as possible. We're down to bare bones crew. Then that allows the actor to come out and act without distraction and just be feeling what they were setting themselves up to feel authentically before the scene starts. So do you see how directing styles can yield a completely different result in the same actor? So good directing matters. Acting matters, but good directing matters. The great actors are the ones that can get themselves to those places without the director's help or with a bad director giving result direction. So if like there's a bad director giving result direction, like I want you to laugh at this line, right? It's a really, really good actor who can laugh at that line authentically and still put themselves in the mindset they need to be in emotionally before doing the scene.
You're right. They know they have to get themselves there naturally rather than just, okay, they're like, they want me to do this, but I'm going to take it and direct myself, basically.
Yeah, you're basically directing yourselves. You're interpreting what the director wants and then, you know, interpreting that into how to really get there. That's a great actor, but most actors are trying to please the director and will do what the director asks them to do, like kind of literally. So if you're a bad director saying, I want you to jump here, I want you to, well, jumping is a little bit different because it's a physical action that might have to happen, but like an emotional result direction, if they give you that, a good actor might not be able to do that well, you know? So good directing matters. It matters. It matters.
All of this is why the newer Transformers and Ninja Turtles just did not come out good.
That's one of many reasons. Well, Michael Bay is not an actor's director. Michael Bay is an action movie director.
I think he was an art guy or like he was
he's
a
like
designer.
An art guy. He probably doesn't really know that part of the craft, that part of the directing craft, right? George Lucas is another example. I don't think George Lucas understands that side either. I hate to say it.
Jar Jar is the key to all of this.
Sorry. He is.
Yeah, but it does make a huge difference. And for those who are actors, who are good actors out there who are listening to me, they agree with me. Like they know what I'm talking about because they want so bad for like a good director to give them the tools they need to give their best performance. And if they really understand their craft, then they agree with me. I know.
Yeah.
You agree with
We're
me, you guys.
friends.
But you do.
We do.
It's like
They
one of those
know.
things. If you know, you know. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, which all this to say, this is why I'm impressed when dubbed actors who have to stick within a time frame for every phrase can do it naturally at all, right? Because they're basically given a result direction to say something at a certain pace with every single line.
Right.
So that means if you're a good, like a great dub actor, you're a great actor. Like there's just no going around that.
Well, I would even say this is a Japanese Eastern game, right? And I think that I could be wrong and I'm naive here. I don't have the education here, but I've played enough games to kind of know the difference between like a Western game and an Eastern game. You know, I love a lot of the stuff that you get. I mean, I think my favorite series are more JRPGs, but the dialogue and the writing can be pretty stilted and kind of strange. Whereas like if you play a Western game, it's more Hollywood, more cinematic, and the writing's a little bit better because we're the ones that invented Hollywood and movies and cinematic storytelling. Whereas like they come up with fantastical worlds and awesome characters that I much more prefer to play a Japanese role-playing game than I do maybe say like, you know, like no shade, but like Skyrim or Fallout. Like those are incredible games. People love those. But I'm like, give me a Japanese RPG, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the voice direction for a lot of these games, and I've seen it a lot, like this could be totally wrong and I don't know, but I see these Japanese, like if you listen to the Japanese dubs, the girls are always these mousy, high-pitched, like I think the Japanese have a certain way they want their women to act and they want the men to act, you know? And so when it's translated, it's called localization. When we localize it for the Western audience, you know, they do their best to kind of stay true to the Japanese direction, but then also, you know, try to make it more localized to a Western cinematic storytelling. And it doesn't always work. So I could see the director saying things to like the female voice actors that are, you know, the Western actors or the English voice actors. They're being like, you need to act this way. So Jolie oftentimes will be like, I have an issue kind of with the female direction or the voice actors, but it may be that they're being told to do it a certain way. And
what is an actor supposed to do with that? Anyway, but props to Kayli Mills.
They should hire us, not the people that made the game.
I'm happy to do some voice acting. As a matter of fact, if somebody lets me play Kefka Palazzo in the 6th remake, I will do everything I can to nail that role.
You'll turn it down because a better actor will do it better.
The guy who did Roche.
How awesome would it be to be able to voice one of these characters?
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
I would love that. I have a little bit of acting experience. I'm not one of the great actors or anything like that, but that would be amazing. But they're never going to give me that role because I'm already insulting them on so many things.
Yeah, I was like, if somebody let me voice Kefka Palazzo in a game remake, I would lose it. That would be done at that point. There'd be no point to living past that point because it's like I've now peaked.
Bye, family. I'm out.
See you later, young toddlers, children.
That's right. Since I've loved this villain since I was a kid, all of a sudden I get to, that'd be so great.
Yeah, you have a poster on your wall of Kefka.
On my wall, yeah.
That poster rules, dude.
It's a good poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, all this to say, props to Kayli Mills.
Yep.
I thought she managed to pull off this voice acting in the game really well. I think she did a really good job, which I was pleased about.